Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Five Flames 4 Fives. Today we're going to be looking at Molsky Disruptor, Bananigans Crystal Maiden, Pohohoro Jakiro, and Bliss Omni. So I really like the stick. You're going to be against Skywrath. You're probably going to want a salve, but you have that queued up, so that's good. Whenever you have a Slark in your lane, the goal is usually just to keep the Slark alive and give him as much solo experience as possible, so that he can hit level 6 as soon as possible, because once he's 6 he can kind of lane without you, and then you can go elsewhere. You don't really need to look for kills or anything like that. You do end up kind of losing the trade, so now that you know that, hopefully you try to avoid trading with him. Maybe focus your attention on trying to harass the Dragon Knight. You can also look to pull and prevent the enemy from pulling. I like that you're avoiding the trade, but you are willing to take the trade up the high ground. It's definitely smart about how you're trading. You see this guy kind of walk down here, and the DK is up here solo against the Slark, and the DK is also right next to your tower. You could probably walk over, cast your Q, and hit him a little bit. You need to salve Slark, and then when you salve him, you should buy another salve. You always just want to have one. Slark just really needs enough health. You need to just give him the sustain he needs and as much solo experience as you can to help get him to that level 6. Probably pop your clarity at a time like this. If you start walking to the left towards your tower, so you were here, and now you're here, so instead you would be like here. And you get actually as far as here, so yeah, you'd be like almost here, and then you walk almost all the way back to where you started, so you would be like here right now. By now you'd be well under the tower. Sky would probably have to die to kill you. If you're retreating, you should go towards the tower. I don't think you've right-clicked the Dragon Knight a single time, which I don't think is ideal. Like, he's low, so you know, you can right-click him as you're retreating. I would just start fighting him, because you're near your tower, and you have time before you're going to be in danger of death. I mean, to be fair, he is extremely tanky, but, like, I feel like you should try it. The waves like this, and you're just waiting around, and you're missing your pull timing. Start with mangoes, and then ship yourself clarities, because mangoes are going to help you in the trade. I would take Crystal Nova first. The fact that it's AoE means you can hit multiple heroes. The movement speed and attack speed slow means that it's going to help you get more right clicks in. Like, you might think, okay, yeah, Frostbite also helps me get attacks in, and it does. It lets you get right clicks in, but it's only 1.5 seconds, whereas the Crystal Nova is 4.5 seconds, and it's 3 times as long during that entire duration. All the trades are going to be pretty much unfavorable for whoever you've landed this on. As CM, you don't really do anything without mana, so like, again, if you had a mango, that would be nice. It'd already be frostbiting him. Instead, you kind of have to just wait. And then you take E, which I disagree with a lot. I think you just take Q. It just makes you so much stronger than lane to have 2 nukes versus 1. Bristleback needs mana, for sure. He's the only hero that really has a mana problem. I mean, the heroes that are good for maxing the Arcane Aura would be something like a Storm or like a Shadow Fiend, where like the extra mana regen is gonna accelerate their farm rate drastically, because they use their spells to farm. Even in a game like that, you still get these 2 skills first. You do kill him anyway, but like, I don't know, it'd be easier to kill him. you kill this guy, the wave's pushing, it's way up. You have plenty of time to go back and pull, and they can't even really contest you. Ooh. You love to see it. And now you want to bully this guy, because he's alone. This is where you need Q. If you have Q, this guy is dead. He's so dead if you have Q. So dead. He's coming back to die for free, but like, you know. Oh no, he doesn't even die. See, this is why you need Q. Look, if you have Q right here, this guy's like dead again, and then that guy's also dead. If you have Q, then instead of right clicking this guy, you just kind of walk up, and these guys are both in range to where they're both going to get hit by it. You're the Crystal Maiden, so you have to have Crystal Nova. I think it's usually best to lead with the Q. Like, you lead with the Q, and then if they start to run away, then you Frostbite. The Crystal Nova is also the longer range by a pretty significant margin. I like your items. These are good items for Jakiro. Just hit Sand King. I think it's more important to hit Sand King than deny. Especially if it's like a 50-50 situation, where like, if you're going to try to deny and they're going to try to last hit, and then you go for the deny and miss, you know, that kind of is lame. You're ready to pull. You're in the area. All you have to do is go do it. Try to go for the stack. It's just not really worth it unless you have like some sort of like crazy free lane Because like in the time that you went for the stack, it's like an entire extra wave that's just in a terrible position. That's also time for Sand King to hit level 3. You had a chance to pull it at 45, right? And it's going to push the wave long term. How is this better? If you pulled immediately, then at least this wave would come back, and then the next wave would start to push. But you can use that as an opportunity to get aggressive onto the enemy heroes. Like, you at least get one wave of a good creep equilibrium, like at a minimum. Instead, like, you went for the stack, you didn't get it, then you go for another pull, and by this time, Rubik realizes what you're doing, and he comes over and he contests you, and now it's like 3 waves in a row that Jug has to do right up next to the Sand King's tower. So Sand King's just straight up chilling in a lane that Sand King should honestly be struggling with. Like, when he walks here, you should turn on him immediately. He literally walks into tower range. You should already think to yourself from the beginning, this guy's Rubik and you're Jakiro, you're both level 1, you are stronger than him. Just straight up, you're way better than him. Now you should like be like, oh my god, is he still chasing me? He has less HP than you, and he's a weaker hero than you. You do have Dust and Sentries. I really like that you went for that stuff. This Rubik is just he's getting too much of a response from you. Rubik has totally prevented you from impacting the Sand King whatsoever at all. And you should think about using your clarity again, like during these pulls and stuff. Literally, if you walk into lane at like level 1, 2, and especially at level 3, especially if Jug's level 3, and you just press Q on Sand King, like, he has to burrow strike away or die. You could have lived if you sticked. If you stick, you're chilling. It happens. Sometimes we all forget to stick. Dust. Okay. Very nice. I would Dust instead of laying down a sentry. It's like feels faster, and Dust actually does damage now and slow. You need to get away. Wind Ranger's gonna take you as a consolation prize. Yep. I feel like you had the opportunity to escape when you saw Wind Ranger gank your Jug. I think you could have just gone away. Yeah, if the enemy mid ganks, just try to hide under the tower and stuff. If they gank your lane and they don't kill you, it's such a huge waste of their time. Like, he just goes on you like that. I would stand my ground and cast my spells. Realistically, at this moment, you're dead. And so your only goal in mind should be just to, like, cast all your spells. Please, 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 please buy boots. I'm gonna be really sad if you, like, TP or walk to lane without boots. Okay, you're shopping. Right? No! No! How long until you buy boots? You have almost 1,000 gold. You're walking across the map so slowly. You bought your boots like 3 minutes too late. At 8:14, you have gold for boots. And if that's the next thing you're gonna buy them. There's nothing else I can think of that you would possibly want to buy. Maybe a raindrop at most. You're stacking in the wrong order. You want to hit the ancient first. So you hit the ancient first, and then you walk to the hard camp, and then you hit the hard camp. Your items are pretty good. You're going to be against Sky. I think you want to get a stick. Mars, Sky, they're just going to cast so much spells. So I hope even though you didn't start with a stick that you buy one soon. If you get in like melee range of Sky, just cast your E, and because then you're going to be able to hit him more times. Being in melee range of Sky is so good for you. And so you want to extend the duration that Sky is stuck in that situation. Okay, I don't mind you holding the hammer to like use it on the Mars though. Yeah, you gotta salve yourself now. Wait until this is over to salve yourself, because it gives 11 strength. So it's like the same reason that you want to, tread swap when you use healing items. You could just use your E to like last hit the large creep. Pretty worthwhile. And you may want to send another salve for your carry. I think what you want to do is sort of be hiding in the trees and stuff and looking for opportunities to get in melee range of Sky. They both more or less have more health than you. They have a ton of creeps and you have like none. So you should not be looking to make any sort of aggressive movements, but you do. You like walk up. If you wanted to walk up, you should like tangle your way through the trees like this and try to like maybe sneak around. If you're just trying to like bait spells and then salve yourself, then I like that actually, but I don't know if that's what you're thinking. You need to use the fog to like not let them get so many hits off of you. Here you can like walk behind that tree right here. He can't see you. If he wants to keep hitting you, he has to walk like all the way to here or here. Then you're again in melee range and you can just hit him. Now that you decide you really want to run away, I would walk behind the trees here so you can fog him again. When you're walking out in the open like this, That allows him to get this extra spell off on you. Especially on melee heroes, you really need to use the Fog of War to your advantage. He's just gonna kite you out if you're out in the open. If these guys are good players, they will recognize the value of this creep. I mean, it's like 80 gold or something. It's a lot. And they'll use their spells to try to secure it. So you have to use your spells to try to secure it. You need to either like hide in the jungle to really try to get the jump, or just kind of play behind the tiny more and look to use your Heavenly Grace to remove anytime Skye uses the concussive shot. The more things you purge, the more HP regen you get. Anytime concussive shot lands on the tiny, you press W on him, and he gets a bunch of HP regen out of it. It's like 110 HP heal, and he gets bonus strength during that time, which will give him more damage for like last hitting and whatnot. And if he takes any damage during that time, he's going to be better able to tank it or purify now. You want to use that purification to get the damage in. I would emphasize using purification first over the Hammer of Purity, because there are going to be fewer opportunities to get your purification off successfully. And second of all, the Hammer of Purity is slow. When you use it on a stunned target like this, you're not getting any value out of the slow aspect of the spell. As soon as he starts running away, then you use the Hammer of Purity. He's going to be slowed. He's going to take more damage from the creeps. It's going to be harder for him to retreat. No need to wait on the Tango. Just go for it. You probably also want to wait for Tiny to approach. Guys both go on the Skye at the same time. He might actually die. You have a ward here, so you can see the movement. If you hide in the trees and wait for Skye to walk close and then ambush him, it's going to be huge. But if you just walk up to him in the open, he's going to hit you with all his spells before you can get in melee range of him. If you took a tight route like this and got behind this tree, then you wouldn't be taking this right click right now. Are you going to TP mid and fill the bottle? Because that would be pretty sick. No, you didn't. He needs the bottle fill so bad. I mean, he's going base anyway, I guess. When Mars is 6 and Tiny is 4, that lane's just over, bro. There's no way Tiny can survive. I think you did have an opportunity to hit yourself a little earlier. If you're missing HP at all, it's worth using. You can purify him right now, like immediately as soon as you get in range, because you're missing HP, so you know, why not? I think you just kind of want to chill out. Buy enough regen to keep your Tiny happy. Use your W on him. You definitely don't take 2 levels in this. It's just terrible. You're playing with a Tiny, man. Heavenly Grace is what you want. Heavenly Grace is just, it's too busted. It's the reason why Omni is so stupidly good, and especially with the Tiny. You just want to max it as soon as possible, because it just gives so much. Like, if you want to get something that's not W, then it's Purification, because Purification actually scales insanely good as well. And honestly, a lot of times I even skip this, because this is like a team fight ability, and you're kind of more in a mode of like skirmishing. Physical damage isn't a huge threat at this point in the game. The only thing it's really good against is the Omni Slash. Omni Slash is a reason to not skip Guardian Angel. You can skip it, just something to think about. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.